Every day like you, I sit back and I say to myself, why are things so difficult for people to understand? Why is war so difficult for people to understand? Why are people not getting what's happening regarding Trump, not with Trump, regarding politics? Why is it, my friends, that we're going through this? We're going to try this again. And I want to just explain to you again the way I see it, the way I take it, the way I grasp it. And I hope that you agree with me and see that it makes sense. I hope you do. I hope you do. Maybe you get it, maybe you don't. Maybe I'm just talking to myself. Maybe I'm just wasting my time. I don't think so. I think you get it. I think you grasp what's happening. But let me do the best I can. I was watching a video, and it was very good. It was just excellent. And it was involving and it dealt with, I think, Victor Davis Hanson. It was talking to a wonderful woman, a Glick. Oh God, it was very good. It was very, very good. It was one of these. It was one of these. Oh God, it was just. By the way, there's a great Netflix documentary called Get Gotti, which was very, very, very good. If you're kind of into that John Gotti stuff. Anyway, yes, Victor Davis Hanson. This is JNS TV. It's excellent. And he is with the Caroline Glick Show. It's excellent, 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 excellent. And Victor Davis Hanson, I like quite a bit. I like his style. I like what he has to say. I like all that stuff. I think he's very, very good. Okay. Very, very good. And it is yet again one of the most incredibly boring pieces I can think of, because it talks yet again about the stuff that I'm telling you doesn't matter. They're talking again about, Joe Biden's doing a bad job. It's true. And Joe Biden is ineffective. And Hamas are a bunch of killers. It's true. I'm not even remotely arguing the point. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not arguing the point. But what I keep asking people is, why are you talking about this? Why in the name of God are people saying, let's look at what is happening, not who's at fault? And the reason why, they don't know what's happening. Or if they were to say something that doesn't comport and doesn't comply with the narrative, they'll lose their position. You have a group of folks, and I don't know if I can't say it's the Jewish lobby. The Jewish lobby has been blamed for everything since day one. The Jewish lobby. It's bizarre. Bizarre. They've done this repeatedly. They've talked about the Jewish lobby and the Jewish lobby. There is an Israeli meme, a thought, an idea that is. So whether it's because of the lobby, whether people want to do it on their own, I don't have any idea. But if you haven't noticed it, it's over here. It's in this group. And then there's the Palestinian lobby. Nobody talks about the Palestinian lobby. Don't you think that's interesting? I do. Don't you think that's interesting? We talk about the Jewish lobby. What about the Palestinian lobby? Why do you think so many young people have this connection where the Hamas attack means nothing to them? Why do you think this is? Why? Why do you think it is? Explain it to me. It's fascinating. Why? Why? What do you think of it? Think about this. It's fascinating to me. Why do people all of a sudden, why are so many young people? What about the Palestinian lobby? Forget the Jewish lobby. What about the Palestinian lobby? How do you see Hamas do. And whether they killed the baby, decapitated the baby, I don't. You want to argue that point? Is there exaggeration in lies? Absolutely. Which one's an exaggeration and a lie? I don't know. But do they exist? Oh, do they ever? Absolutely. Of course they do. Of course they do. But explain to me, what is this thing? Do you know the history? I'd love to get any of these young people. I would love to get these young folks and say, what was it that brought you on board? Tell me. And you know what most would say? They couldn't tell you. It's like climate change. Sorry. They couldn't tell you the first thing about Palestine. Thank you, Hillbilly. Thank you, Hillbilly. Thank you, sir. They couldn't tell you the first thing about it. They are so full of shite, it's not even funny. Some do, some don't. A lot of them don't. Young people are always pulled by what is the cool thing to say. I'm sorry, you know it's true. Whether it's Greta Thunberg, whether it's this nonsense, these crazy lunatic from transgendered this to remember the poussoir hat. I don't want to say the wrong word. Remember the hat. Remember the hat. Remember that. Remember how they talked about things. They don't know what they're talking about. I can explain the Palestinian position easily. I can explain it. I understand it. Absolutely. I understand it completely. I understand the Jewish position. I keep saying Jewish Israeli. It's kind of the same thing, but not really. I understand their position. Don't you? I understand it. I understand it. Absolutely. I understand it. I understand it. I can explain it. Can you? Tell me what it's about. Tell me the Palestinian position. Tell me. Give me one word. Explain it to me. Tell me what it is. Tell me. Do you think, yes or no, do the Palestinians have any point whatsoever? Not all Palestinian, but is there a rational Palestinian point of view? Yes or no? Is there? Is it? Who? Tell me. Is there any position whatsoever? Yes. Okay. You got to understand this. Is there any validity? Is there any validity to what they're saying? Anything? Are they just bitching and moaning and complaining over nothing? You tell me. Tell me the truth. Answer my question. Come on. Start typing. Let's see your answer. Use this thing. This is what we're doing. This is live. Go to your phones, go to your whatever you're watching this thing, and I want to see your response. This is the thing that makes this better than ever. We give and take. That's why we're doing this. Yes, but I think the murder of kids in the festival is psycho. Okay, very good. Hold it. They should live in peace? What does that mean? Of course they should live in peace. That's not answering the question. Respect on the world stage? Okay, namby-pamby. Come on. Let me ask you something. Is there anything that anybody could ever tell you? If I were to tell you that Hamas were to say, listen, it may be brutal and it's horrible, and if they did it to my family, I want to kill them too. But it was effective. It got your attention. Is there anything wrong with that? Because that's what they're saying. They're saying to you, it got your attention. Whatever it was, it got your attention. It's about time something got your attention. You haven't been paying attention. You haven't been listening to a word of us. Not one thing we've been saying. Nothing. It got your attention. You're paying attention now. Do you understand this? Do you get what's happening? If somebody would say, listen, Seraphin, Anna, Hillbilly, Striplets, Mark, you don't understand something. You want to be nice? You know what happens? Nothing. 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 And Israel would tell you, if it wasn't for Hamas, we wouldn't be able to. No, there are more people who feel now sorry for us over what's going on now. Seeing these women, old women and grandmothers taken away. I mean, they will tell you, look, we don't want this, but violence gets you on the front page. Do you understand this? Now think about this. What I wanted to talk to you about this. And you can sit there with Victor Davis Hanson or whoever the hell it is, or Alan Dershowitz or anybody. I don't care about that. Did they get their point across? And when I say that, I'm not advocating it. Would somebody please recognize what's happening for the first time and stop giving me this bullshit about history and, well, in 1948, the Nakba. Would you lay off the Nakba, for God's sakes? How many times are we going to keep talking about this? What do you think? How do you fix this? Do you want to have, we don't do this. We just talk about it. We have, oh my God, the other day I saw something, the history of Israel. It's like, oh no, no. When they were talking about Ukraine, somebody was saying, well, what was it called? Something Rus and the what a Rus, and we're talking about Russia. It's like, oh my God. They're talking about 500. What do we do? Nobody knows what's going on. Answer the question. What are you going to do about this? What are you going to do? I'm going to sit down with Bibi and I'm going to say, let me tell you what they're saying. Okay? Let me tell you what they're saying. And then I'm going to go to the Hamas guy and say, I know you don't give a damn about this. Your whole thing isn't, you don't even live there. You're in what, Paris or Cyprus, wherever the hell you were in Qatar. You're making millions. Your families go to fancy schools. You're living a life. These people are suffering. Well, let me tell you about what you're doing wrong too. Israel, you got a bad PR problem. Big, big PR problem. Look at the world. Look at the world. How do you deal with that? Do you think this is going away? Do you think you're going to get to square one? Do you say, doesn't matter, we're right? We're right? You think maybe we should go to Greg Gutbucket to see what he thinks, or Judge Janine? They're very good. Well, we're right. So stop this nonsense. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. How do we fix this thing? That's what I want to talk about. Rule number one, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Bibi, these people, they say they live in squalor. They live like animals in Gaza. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying repeatedly. I can't say it enough. Are you paying attention, Bibi? Do you understand what we're saying? Yes or no? Do you get it? You can't keep talking about this. Whoa, the problem, stop it. Next, Hamas. I would love to make sure everybody in Gaza knows, whatever happens to you next, I don't want to be you right now. I don't want to be you. Is it wrong? Yes. Is it right? No. Is it fair? No. But it's going to happen. And you know who you can thank? Hamas. Sorry. That's it. Pretty brutal. Yep, it sure is. Pretty brutal. That's who you can thank. So get ready. And the reason why that building and that building and that building and that building, all of it's off. And I'm not talking about the horrors that you have suggested that they were responsible for. And I'm not even going to even begin to argue that point. But the reason why this power is off and that power is because of October the 7th. You understand what's happening? And the reason why they've been having these checkpoints, according to what Israel is saying, is because either you let or it happens. Hamas is building bombs and using your homes as a site to launch rockets against the Israelis. Now, you may not like that. That may be a problem. I don't give a damn. I don't care whether you like it. That's the way that is. What are you going to do about that? Come on, MBS. Come on, Turkey. Did you hear? I keep saying, did you hear what Erdogan said? Did you? Anybody? Did you? Did anybody hear? Hello? Is anybody listening to me right now? Do me a favor. I'm curious. I want everybody listening just to push the number 7. Just push the number 7 so I know you're here. So I know you're I want to see how many 7s are there. Are you paying attention? Am I wasting? I'm seriously. Is there some? Maybe it's me. Maybe there's something wrong with this because we're getting some wonderful things from 5 people. This isn't normal. Hit the number 7. I want as many new people. I want to see a flurry of 7s. Oh, there you are. Okay. So you're there. All right. Okay. We're coming. Now we're happy. Now there's okay, good, good, good. I'm thinking to myself, because part of the time, you don't do this thing right, hit the wrong button, somebody doesn't know what's going on, you didn't hit engage the enemy, the end of the conference. Anyway, thank you. I'm gonna tell you what Erdogan said. This blew my mind. Blew my mind. But I want you to listen first. And you got to do me a favor. You got to make sure you are subscribed. You've got to make sure that you are subscribed and you hit that little bell and you enable it. You've got to enable it so that you are notified. Not just hit the bell, but you've got to, I guess, do something or whatever. Because that's critical. That is how you know. Because in the next couple of days, it's going to be real sketchy as far as the live stuff goes. I got a lot of stuff going on right now. I don't want to talk about it, but it's very interesting. So you got to know when I'm on, okay? But first of all, I was talking to a friend of mine early this morning about food and about scared. People are scared. Could this happen here? Yes. I don't know why people think that we're immune from this. So I want you to listen very, very, very carefully to our great sponsor. The smartest thing that you can do right now is to pay attention and listen to what I'm telling you right now. In the event of disaster, in the event of something calamitous, there are 3 things that are critical to survival: food, water, and energy. I'm here to talk about the food part. And that's preparewithlionel.com. My Patriot Supply is simply the premier food storage, emergency food storage company in the world. And they have right now a deal for you that I want you to pay attention to and avail yourself of. It's $200 off a 3-month emergency food supply kit. Now, this is what everybody should have initially, but this will get you going. This is an introductory. We're talking a 25-year shelf life, 21 varieties of the most delicious foods and drinks and snacks you can imagine. We're talking 120 pounds of food in resealable pouches with oxygen absorbers, 120 pounds of food in 6 water-resistant buckets that are modular and stacked perfectly. They are simply the smartest things you can do, the wisest thing you can do, because I'm telling you, when there's calamity, when there's shutdown, when there's martial law or tsunamis or weather or strikes or riots or whatever, stores close down. And when stores close down, food is unavailable. And when food is unavailable, people are going to go nuts. You know it and I know it. Preparewithlionel.com. Don't think, don't review this, don't give this a lot of thought. Just do this. Go to preparewithlionel.com and take advantage of this, I should say, this incredible deal that's not going to last for a long time. Preparewithlionel.com. It's that serious. It is. It is. So nothing you've ever seen before. I sit down. I was talking to my friend this morning early. I had a meeting and happened to be in Astoria, Queens. It's a wonderful place where it's a big Greek enclave. And we're talking about things, and they have a different perspective, of course. And I said, Erdogan is so emblematic of what people are saying. He's the consummate politician. Number one, he said that Hamas is not a terrorist organization. Hamas is not terrorist. He said Hamas is like, and it's not ISIS, it's more like the Mujahideen. He uses and references almost anthemic, dare I say, references to bold and powerful examples of Muslim and Arabic and this mentality that means something. I promise you, Victor Davis Hanson, well, maybe he will, and I like VDH, but they're not talking about him. They're on the world stage. when Hitler was talking about genocide, and other people say, I think you better be listening. What do you need? What do you need him to say? We're not equipped. Do you think Israel is ready for a war? They don't have this. This IDF, I don't want to say is mythical. It's not. But they have reservists. This is not. You want to go against Turkey's army? We have been so bamboozled by a lot of stuff that is, frankly, I hate to say it, it's, for lack of a better word, it's hype, and it's Hollywood, and it's a lot of stuff that just, I don't even know how to put it anymore. Israel is not perfect in terms of their military and they've done some wonderful things in the past, but a lot of that's Hollywood. And I still don't understand how October 7th happened in the first place. And there's a lot of folks out there who think maybe it was my I don't know, but it was weird. It just doesn't make any sense. This is going to come here. Wait till BLM and Antifa work with and combine with the apartheid aspect. Those who consider this to be apartheid. You don't think that's happening? You don't think that's happening? Believe me. They're going to make you pay for this. They're going to make you feel this. It's not enough for them to have some stupid jadrul at NYU law school tearing down pictures of kidnapped people. They're going to make you feel this. They're going to make you feel it big time. And then you're going to say, oh, I understand. Yeah. And then maybe you can have on, I keep saying Victor Davis Hanson, nothing wrong with it, but maybe you can have somebody talk about the history of I guess the history of Israel again. Is that what you want to do? I mean, is that the thing? I don't get it. And they're going to just say the same stuff over and over again. They keep doing this repeatedly over and over and over. It's the strangest thing. Do you really need to hear the history of the land? Are you kidding me? What will it take for you to understand how serious this is? I can answer the question. Them coming here. Somebody somewhere. What are we doing? What is Joe Biden doing? Where's the FBI? What is the anti-terrorist units doing? What are they doing to protect us from these lunatics? What are you hearing? Nothing. What are you hearing about? Nothing. Let me tell you something. But we've got a lot of talk. We got a lot of great stuff. Let me explain to you a couple of things here. When I heard Erdogan say, these aren't terrorists. This is Mujahideen. I thought, oh my God. Dear God. How many people, let me explain this to you. And maybe you think this. Maybe you figure, you know what? I kind of sort of think this way. And it's okay if you do. How many of you think, honestly, maybe you don't want to do it, but maybe you say, the Gazans, look, it's their fault. They had the chance to do something about this, but they didn't. They had the chance to do something about this, but they didn't. They let this happen because you know what? They just, okay. Look where somebody writes, goat herders don't have much history to show you. Really? Oh, we have a tremendous history when we were around making leather stuff, and Paul Revere made some nice little, silverware stuff. It's good. Oh, we have a tremendous story. In fact, we have nothing to compare to European countries as well. There is a part of this. There is a very sick part of me. And I'm sorry to say it, but I'm going to say it. There's a very sick part of me that cannot wait to say, I told you. But that means that something bad will have had to happen, and I don't want that to happen. But I will tell you, I told you. I told you. I warned you. You weren't listening to me. You were listening to Jordan Peterson. You thought that was good, or maybe you needed Ben Shapiro to clear something up because you didn't understand the anger part of it. You weren't sure whether terrorism was a bad stuff, or maybe Candace Owens came out and said something about race or whatever. This is where we are today. We talk about this crap over and over. Maybe somebody came up and said, "Oh, look at this." Silver Fox says MBS and LCC could broker a deal. Well, LCC for sure, certainly, because he's Muslim Brotherhood and he's very well respected. See, that's another thing too. We don't care about this. They don't care about this. This is where is our group? Where? I'll tell you, one guy's doing one hell of a good job. One hell of a good job. The Duran, of course. Well, that's more Ukraine, but Judge Napolitano has been, hats off to him. Some of the best stuff ever. And he's gone against the grain. And he's not saying, and by the way, people say, well, I don't agree with him all the time. Stop saying that. He says some stuff about Trump, who, by the way, would be the complete savior to all of this if he were allowed to be. But in any event, he has had some of the best stuff ever. Scott Ritter's been terrific. See, nobody wants to say this. And again, it's not because it's, well, this anti-Israel. It's not anti-Israel. It's reality. We have become so marginalized in our country. We really have. We have become so marginalized. And we have become so simplistic to the point of being absolutely sad, pathetic. And the first thing that needs to be done is to have a president who can handle this. This wouldn't happen if Trump were involved. I promise you, Trump would have an ability. And I would love to sit there and use that ego for our benefit and say, Mr. President, this is the chance for you to show people really what you're made of, to show people what you're really about. The myth of Trump is not a myth. For you to pick up the phone and say, all right, that's enough. That's enough. MBS, you've heard it. We're not going to let this go further. We're going to talk about this. You tell me your beef. Tell me what. MBS could say, you know what? We're doing just fine. What do you mean? This is actually good. Lets my people get upset. They scream and they yell. They do this stuff. They like it. They're actually having a good time because they think Israel finally is catching crap and they hate Israel. You know how it is. Okay, what do you think? What's going on with you? Bibi, what's going on with you? Bibi, right now, how are your poll numbers? Bibi's got to look at this as a politician, as a leader. What are you doing? What do your people say? What are your people saying? How is your propaganda? I think it sucks. There is no propaganda in Israel worth a damn. Having young IDF people, it's okay. You aren't even near this one. First thing I'm going to do, you know who I'm on the phone with? Elon. I'm talking to our friends of TikTok. It's like, I'll make a deal with you. Yeah, you got to help us out a little bit here. We got to work with you. I can make it easier for you in terms of some upcoming impending legislation that could hurt your brand. You work with us. Do you agree? Where's the propaganda? Where are the influencers? Nowhere. Who is it? Who? This thing is lost in the world. I don't understand it. Where's my influencer team? We should have people absolutely in the whatever, or not me, but Israel should have. And say, look, I don't need a bunch of hot looking babes in uniforms toting automatic weapons. Where are the influencers? Where's the propaganda? The propagation of the truth from Pope Gregory. Where is it? You suck. Let's talk about that. Maybe Alan Dershowitz can give us a history. I mean, it's, how do I say this? They're hacks. Nobody's explaining. This is like multi-dimensional. This is a new war here. And I want to understand the sides. Stop taking a side. I don't want to hear a partisan. I know what you're going to say. I like a little bit. I like to hear a little bit of the partisan. Okay, fine. I know the Palestinian side perfectly. I got it. I got the Israeli side. So I got to go elsewhere. What do other people say? What do the Indians say? Oh, you should hear Palkisha Sharma from First Post, just late tearing Trudeau a new one. Oh my God, great stuff. Listen to what other people are saying, and not Piers Morgan. You have been so bereft. You are missing some of the greatest intellectual music. It's like, remember years ago when Kenny G came out and people said, oh, okay, Kenny G. I said, that's not. If you think Kenny G is great, wait until you hear. Let's just go back. There's so much great jazz. Same thing goes for country, same thing, whatever. What you're hearing, my dear friend, is just utter nonsense. It is tripe. It is just the same stuff. Where are the new levels? Where are the new levels of texture? How do you figure this out? Where is your, how do I use the media? What is it? What is it? Some things are not able to, but this one needs to be, who is it out there who can explain? Not explain. There's two ways to do this. Either you explain the Israeli position, or you explain the Palestinian, or vice versa. Start talking about who the Hamas people, who are the leaders. It's very easy for you to say what you say when you're not in Gaza. It's very easy for you to say. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how this is. Where is this? Where is this asymmetric ultimate level? The messages are going on, and you're being told this thing about the fact that you can't kidnap. I know you can't kidnap people and behead babies. I understand that. They're stuck in this. I know I'm wasting my time. You're probably saying, what are we supposed to do? This is so fascinating. Do you see how this could be great? Wouldn't you love to be in? You pick the side. You pick the side. I could do it. Which side do you want to work on? Not which side are you for? If I worked for the Palestinians, first thing I'm going to tell them is, okay, you made it. I understand. I understand completely. You made it abundantly clear. I got it. You made it abundantly clear how you are. Yeah, Mr. Okay, I got it. Okay. What are you going to do next? What? What's your plan? What do you want? Do you know what the Palestinian position is? Anybody? What is it? Do you know what it is? I know they don't like Gaza. I know what they're. What do you want? You want a two-state solution? Who's going to run it? Where? Do you ever hear about that? No. You're just hearing that Israel they're barbaric and they treat us like secondhand citizens or slaves, and that this is apartheid. Okay, fine. I got that. What do you want? Where's your future? Who's speaking for you? Do you have any idea about that? No, you don't. You don't. What is it? Okay, you've got a bunch of people downtown who want to tear down placards or tear those. Okay, fine, terrific. You want to do this stuff. What are you going to do next? Tell me. What? You don't know. Israel's pretty easy. Leave us alone. Israel's story is great. You wanted Gaza. You got Gaza. And the reason why we have these, okay, maybe the checkpoints or whatever, you work with Hamas. We didn't start that business until they started shooting us. And they started taking all the information or all the supplies that were you using, water and pipes and all this stuff, to make bombs. You see what I'm saying? What do they want? What does this want? You want Israel out? They're not leaving. Stop it. My friend, this is the, now, maybe when there's war. Let me ask you something. Do you think Israel's going to actually do a full-scale boots in the ground attack of Gaza? Yes or no? I don't. They can't. I don't. They can't. What are you, nuts? It's a slaughter. You're going to go in there and Gaza and Hamas is going to say, you engage those. They're going to let some of these people behind. And I guarantee you they're going to be ready. Go ahead. Ready? Here we go. Here comes the tanks. Now push out grandma. There we go. Runs over. Oh, it's terrific. And then we have more of this stuff. And they're just waiting to record it. So tell people ahead of time. Tell them what it is. Tell them what you're going to be doing. Tell them how you're going to be. In essence, you're going to be saying, this is what they're going to do. We understand the propaganda. Tell people. Quit going back with the history of King David and the first temple and oh my Al-Aqsa Mosque. They shouldn't go to desecrate the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Well, we were there, obviously. I heard this the other day. I think it was Dershowitz, it was Bibi, others were talking about the history of Israel. And it's like, not now. Not now. What is this? I mean, who is intrigued in the middle of what's going to be World War III to go through the genealogy of Israel? What are you, nuts? I don't fit in here. I don't fit in. I don't fit in this world. I don't. And I don't think anybody cares about me because nobody's answering my question. They want to talk about this other kind of stuff. I can't. The other day I heard, I swear to God, I don't know how many minutes of the 5. Somebody had this. I'm thinking, oh my God. And all you want to see, I guess you, is just people at the site with their press. They got a press. They want to see the bombs and this thing. I know what bombs are. Who's who? Is there one bit of negotiation? Who's talking? Well, nobody's talking. Nobody's talking. Nobody's talking. I don't understand this. Bibi, what are you doing? Who is it? Is it Abu Mazen? Is it that Gaza? I mean, that Hamas guy? Who is speaking? Where? What? Have you ever heard of anything? You ever heard of anything? What would end this? And Israel's not leaving. We don't talk about it. We don't. There's nothing. This is we're at an impasse. Unless you want to talk about Mike Johnson. Oh my God! Did you hear that? They're talking about Mike Johnson like they knew who the hell Mike Johnson was. This is too hard for people. This is a difficult one. This is too. And everybody kind of looks the same. And we're like a good war where we have Japanese versus. Okay. The Europeans kind of look like us. Japanese. And you know how sometimes people don't. African Civil War doesn't grab people here in this case. What do you mean? French Civil War, Basque separatism. Oh, the more people look like you or look like the majority, the more people connect. Here we have basically identical people. These are in essence the same people. They speak almost the same language. Shalom, salam. I mean, the food, they're almost identical. Yes, there were some. Oh, my favorite is that. Well, they're really not Jews. They're Ashkenazi versus. Oh my God, we love to go into the provenance of stuff. Let me tell you what's going to happen. Oh my gosh, the voice of reason. Palki Sharma speaks like Rudyard Kipling and is a hottie, all while offering brilliant and objective analyses. Never says, I love our troops. She's perfect. I listen to them early in the morning. I listen to the headphones to hear, what's going on and when that first breaks. And it's not all about just, I'm sorry, but I get bored by watching tanks and things blow up. That doesn't do anything for me. What's the latest? Who's in the skirmish? Who's in the vol? What the UN has basically told Israel, you're on your own with this one. You are bad. I want to know what's being done, who's saying what's the end, what's the bottom line. Trump would have figured this out. They would have never done this with Trump. They would have never done this with Trump. You can say what you want about that guy. He may be a jerk. He may be a lot of stuff, but let me tell you something. He is so good. He is so good at what he does. And he has this countenance. He has this ability, this. How do I say this? There's nothing like him. Howie says, religious context of Palestine, hard to ignore. Is there a religious context there? Yes or no? Is this about religion? Yes or no? Anybody? Is this about religion? Anybody? Anybody? Is this about religion? Yes or no? Is this religion? No. Were the troubles in Ireland about Protestant and Catholic? Was it about the papacy versus... No. No. Do you think, have you heard ever anybody talk about, you won't let us practice our faith, or you desecrate our, our, our mosques? No, 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 absolutely not. Absolutely not. I love you. Have you read your Quran? You've never read the Quran. Nobody's read the Quran. Nobody's read the Bible. Nobody's ever done this. Stop with this business about, well, I've read the Quran and it's violent. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. You haven't read the Quran. You haven't read Ayn Rand. You haven't read any of this stuff. You haven't read the Constitution. Never studied it. You might have read it. Like, okay, I'm reading the Quran. I'm reading it. Okay. You ever read the Bible? Good luck with that. Want me to go through some? So stop it. It's not about religion. It's not about religion. If you think Hamas, if you think this is about, the Quran, no way. This is about plain old war, land, and money, and military, and propping up, and let me tell you, it's all. It's that is the biggest joke there is. Do you think that? Russia and Ukraine. I don't know what you say that is about. Maybe language. We love these bumper sticker stuff. It's about religion. It's socialism. No, it's not. And by the way, here's the story. You're missing the point. You're still going back to figuring out what this is about. What is happening now? Who cares? I told you, it's like somebody's having a heart attack and you're saying, I think it's probably diet. I don't know, though. There's a family history. While the person's dying, we're talking about what caused this. Do you see where we are? Religious fervor. This is shite. This is just, pardon me, this is just cranking out. Just give me another bumper sticker. What? Anything. I've been typing the same stuff. Religious fervor. God, who's the bigger God? Deistic? No. That's not it. They have not mentioned religion one time. Listen to any of the people. Believe me, they can say stuff. They can say things, Allahu Akbar, whatever. But that's more of an expression, unless you think that's the reason why they do it. Certainly, it's a factor, but that's not what this is about. That's not what this is about. And by the way, if it was about that, so what? Now, if I'm at the table with you and I say, okay, now that we've decided, what do you want to do about it? Well, I don't know what to do. I'm just letting you know. Okay, we know that. What do you want to do about it? This is my favorite. Do you think I'm getting to the point? Do you think Roger understands what's going on? I love you, Roger, but do you not understand how many factors there are here? Do you want a point? Tell me. I love this and I appreciate this. This is very good. What is the point? I've just been talking for 44 minutes about every conceivable level of how complex this is. And you want me to get to the point. Everybody get the point? Everybody get the point? Have we gotten to the point yet? So the point is, there is no point. Do you know there is no 72 virgin story too? That's also ask anybody and say, where did you get this 72 virgins? Where did you get this? Remember the old joke? Somebody said, I know, Roger, I love you. But a lot of people do this. A lot of people, have you ever heard this? They said the guy goes to the, whatever, he's a suicide bomber. He says, and this old lady comes out. He goes, what the hell is this? He says, I'm the 72-year-old virgin. He says, no, I thought they said, anyway. It is pure hate. Okay. Okay. What was Vietnam about? Was that hate? Okay. We're also asking about what it's about, what it's about, what it's about. Quranic quotes. What do you do right now? What's the story? Nobody knows. Nobody's talking about this. We're just talking this circular stuff. Again, it has to be Israel. What do you want? Palestine. By the way, who speaks for Palestine? Who is it? Who is it? Is it Abu Mazen? Is it Hamas? Who is it? That's number one. Number two, what do you want? What's your goal? What's your demands? What is it? What is the goal? What is it? What do you want right now? Something that we can give you. Don't ask for something ridiculous. What do you want? How long is this going to do? Who's on our side? Israel, what do you do about I've said it. It's fascinating. Fascinating. So, my friends, when you get a chance, watch this new Netflix piece on Get Gotti. Fascinating story, but it was very interesting. Get Gotti. It's very, very good. Now, tomorrow, and I do not know when, I've got some business I'm doing, and I may be having to bring my mobile unit with me. So consequently, I will try my best to have some semblance of regularity, but I can't. So that's why you've got to make sure you hit that little bell. Because when I go live, I'm just going to go live. I'm going to tell you this is what's going on. This is what's happening. And I hope that what you do, I hope that when we get done, you realize, my God, I never realized how complicated this was. That's what I want. I want you to say, I knew it. And also understand, this wouldn't happen if Trump were president. Remember that. Take that to the bank. This would not happen if Trump were president. You understand that? Period. Absolutely period. Eric Thaddeus Walters, thank you. Silver Fox and Hillbilly, thank you for your kindness this eve. Dear friends, have a great and a glorious day. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for enjoying this. Again, don't know when. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Also, always check the community section. I've been remiss in not writing enough about that. So anyway, have a great and glorious night. We love you tremendously. Don't ever change. I mean that sincerely. And until the next time we speak, which could be tomorrow, could be later. We don't know when. But anyway, remember this. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you.